Hello everyone, I'm Sheriff Wayne Ivey and you're watching Hit the Streets, our latest crime fighting initiative that targets criminals before they can target our citizens.
They say that crime will rise to the level a community will tolerate. In Brevard County, we have zero tolerance for crime. These are the stories.
Before we jump into tonight's episode, I want to take just a quick moment to share some exciting news with our citizens about our Brevard County crime rate. As I always tell everyone, crime will rise to the level a community will tolerate. And it's pretty apparent that in Brevard County, we have zero tolerance for crime, as in the past 9 years, our crime rate has now dropped an amazing 51%. That's right, in just 9 short years, the partnership between our agency and our citizens has worked to cut the crime rate in half, with fewer victims of crime in our community than any time in the past 45 years. While that's an amazing accomplishment, I'm still not satisfied, as now is not the time to go soft on crime. In fact, now is the time to keep our boot firmly planted on the throat of crime and keep locking bad people behind bars where they can't victimize anyone else. All right, with that said, let's get to it, as our Directed Patrol Unit held a short briefing at our North Precinct, and then we hit the streets of North Brevard County. Our first case of the night happens when agents observed a white Chevy Camaro with dark window tint being driven recklessly in the area of DeLeon Avenue and Gibson Street in Titusville. As agents attempted to stop the vehicle for reckless driving, the driver of the vehicle, Anibal Osorio Lopez, conducted a U-turn and was so reckless in doing so that it spun the rear of the car around as he began to flee through a vacant lot at an extremely high rate of speed. As the vehicle continued to flee from our agents, it traveled south on DeLeon, passing numerous marked and unmarked vehicles that all had their blue lights activated. Osorio Lopez continued to operate the vehicle in an extremely reckless manner, weaving in and out of traffic until it crashed into a tree behind a residence at 2100 South DeLeon Avenue. As Osorio Lopez exited the driver's seat of the vehicle, he was observed by agents removing a black handgun from his waistband as he continued to flee on foot. As agents were pursuing on foot, they gave repeated commands for Osorio Lopez to stop, and then observed him tossing the firearm over a chain-link fence. Osorio Lopez was then tackled by one of our agents, who knocked him to the ground, at which time Lopez continued to try and flee and jumped a neighborhood fence, where he was taken into custody by several units who were arriving on scene. Agents on scene recovered the firearm that Lopez threw over the fence, which was identified as a fully loaded Glock 40 caliber handgun with 1 round already chambered and 20 additional rounds in the magazine. A probable cause search of the vehicle revealed over 4 pounds of pot, trafficking amounts of liquid codeine, and other items of drug paraphernalia. As a result of the search, Osorio Lopez was charged with fleeing and attempting to elude, reckless driving, carrying a concealed firearm, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, and possession of trafficking amounts of controlled substance over 4 grams. Lopez was transported to the Brevard County Jail by our transportation team on a no-bond status. Man, when are they going to learn that if you run from the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, you're only going to go to jail tired? Oh well, our next case happened when agents McGill and Weimer conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle with an expired tag at the intersection of South Street and Fox Lake in Titusville. Once the stop had taken place, K-9 Deputy Adam Steerwald, or Skinny as we call him, used K-9 Wayland to conduct a free air sniff, which resulted in a positive alert of the vehicle. As you can see from the video, during the search, agents and deputies found approximately 1 gram of a substance that field tested positive for cocaine, a single pill that field tested positive for ecstasy, and a loaded handgun. As a result, Leander Wellington was taken into custody and transported to the Brevard County Jail on a total bond of $4,500 for 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance without a prescription. And his partner, Zaquan Hill, he was transported to our Lovely County Jail on a no-bond status for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and also carrying a concealed firearm. Now, our next case followed a traffic stop on a maroon Buick after Deputy Shuck and Agent Hannigan observed it being driven by Shanna Darst, who they knew did not have a valid driver's license. As Kyle and Sean attempted to stop the vehicle, things started to go a little sideways.
Julie, 3 foot pursuit.
It's a cop, man. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Yes, I didn't.
You ran on foot.
I didn't run on foot.
Yeah.
How? I got out and went in the house.
Blue lights come on. You get out of your car and run.
I didn't see, but
and
the blue
slam the
lights
door in my
went,
face.
the blue lights went on when I got out of the car.
Yes, they were.
Once Shuck and Hannigan got Darst into custody, she was extremely cooperative and actually wanted to know if she was going to be featured on Hit the Streets.
Come on, we watch it all the time. You crazy?
Just dropped an episode tonight. Oh, you're going to be the star of the next one.
Well, Shanna, the answer to that question is yes. Yes, you are, as you can't be a habitual traffic offender and operate a motor vehicle in Brevard County, and you can't run from the Brevard County Sheriff's Office and not take the ride to jail. After a probable cause search of the vehicle produced drug paraphernalia, Darst was transported to the Brevard County Jail on a total bond of $3,000 for driving as a habitual traffic offender, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting arrest without violence. Okay, so with Darst now on her way to jail, let's check in on K-9 Deputy Tyler Habart as he made a traffic stop on US 1 in Port St. John near Canaveral Groves. As you will see in the video, from the very beginning of the traffic stop, Deputy Habart observes a clear baggie on the floor, a white powdery substance on the driver's lap, and even more of the white powdery substance dropping out of the car as the driver, Bruce Evans, was asked to exit the vehicle.
How you doing, bud?
Good.
You got a little bit of dope in here, bro?
This is feline antibiotics.
Okay. What was in the plastic bag down there? Be honest with me, bro. Just be honest with me, man. Come on. This ain't my first day on the job, man. I know exactly what that bag's used for. What was in there? You can work with me and we'll make it easy. What was in there?
Nothing in there, sir.
Nothing in there at all. Huh?
No.
Hey, you can put it back down. All right, do me a favor and hop out for me, okay? I appreciate it. Right back to the front of my car. Look at me. Like, face me. What's all the white powder all over you, dude? Come on, man.
What?
Is it a little bit of cocaine?
No.
Okay, you got a baggie on the floor and you got white powder on you like you just tried to dump it out. Don't be shaking it around, man.
After the substance field tested positive for cocaine, Evans was taken into custody for possession of cocaine and was transported to Brevard County Jail on a total bond of $2,000. Now, our last case of the night starts out with Deputy Herb Smith and Agent Tyler Harrell observing a blue and color Chevy Malibu that was driving at a high rate of speed on East Railroad Avenue. As the vehicle continued to drive recklessly through the neighborhoods, running stop signs, weaving in and out of traffic, and even running off the roadway, our aviation unit, STAR, and our deputies got into position to stop the vehicle that was now clearly trying to flee.
He's waving his hands out the window. I don't know what he's doing. See him with thumbs up. He put his hand out the window and kind of waving it forward. He's up here somewhere. Just FYI, residence right up here.
Star's got the eyeball.
All right, if we can get it lit up.
All right, I gotta come a little wide.
They're pulling into a house right now.
10-4, that's where the registered owner is.
Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get on the ground, get on the ground. On the ground, on the ground.
Zulu 1, if you guys are 10-4 down there, we're gonna clear.
Then the star car lets you
I am
up on
not a
Vista Parkway.
danger, Grandma. I'm not a danger to society.
Driving like that, you were, son.
I was scared.
Well, as you can see from the video, the driver of the vehicle, a juvenile, wanted to make it to his grandmother's house as he thought it would keep him from taking the ride. Apparently, he didn't get the memo that if you run from us, you go to jail. The driver was taken into custody by our team and transported to the Juvenile Detention Center for fleeing and attempting to elude, reckless driving, and operating a motor vehicle without a driver's license. Well, there you have it, folks. Another great night out on the streets with our HIT team and another night of working to keep our streets safe. Remember, crime will rise to the level a community will tolerate. So if you're thinking about breaking the law, I would highly recommend you do it someplace else, because in Brevard County, we have zero tolerance for crime. See you next time on Hit the Streets.